Donut Bag is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Your data is your business. Protect it with ExpressVPN. For 3 extra months free with a 1-year package, go to the link listed in my Twitter profile. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag. This episode, I recap Loki episode 4 with my Marvel buddies. I think they want to be called Team Marvelicious or something like that. Andrew Dzurko and Pam Bruchwalski. And this went a little long, so I'll keep this part short. But it's just so cool what they've done. This is the third Disney Plus series about in the MCU. You know, there was WandaVision, then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and now Loki. And it's just so cool that they put out something once a week that gets us all excited, and it's really well done. So it's awesome, and it just makes Wednesdays a lot of fun and highly anticipated. They come out, I think, 3 a.m. on Wednesdays, so I get up early to watch them, and then I get all excited, and then I read all about them, and then in the evening I talk about it with Pam and Andrew, and it's just it's a lot of fun. So I am loving it. So anyway, here is a recap of Loki episode 4. The Donut Bag starts right now. Here's a brief synopsis. In the most shocking episode yet, Mobius discovers all is not right with the TVA as Loki and Sylvie create their own kind of Nexus event. All right. Okay, first, are we okay? What are we calling ourselves? Marvelicious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvelicious, whatever.
Marvelistic is fine with me.
We'll work on it anyway. Okay. I think this is. I think I already know where this is going. But out of 10, what do you give this episode? 10. Yeah, 10. It was a 10, right? I mean, to me, it was perfect. Can we agree on that?
You're not going to get any complaints from me.
I loved it so much. When
this is the best out of the best.
Oh, definitely. I've heard it described as the best episode out of all 3 of the Disney Plus series that have been going so far.
I've heard it described as the best Thor movie ever.
Oh wow, high praise.
That's a good one. That's a good
high praise.
That's a good. That's the
none of those movies are great.
Hey,
I love them.
Ragnarok is good.
Even Dark
Ragnarok is solid. I will not sit here and not defend Ragnarok. But those other 2 movies are terrible.
Pam, did you say Thor Dark World was? Did you like Thor Dark World?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
That's okay. That's a minority opinion right there. I think Thor Dark World is considered like the worst of all the MCU movies.
Yes, it is.
Disagree.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Okay. Pam, we're gonna have an entire podcast.
We're going to do.
You convince me that is a good movie.
Oof.
I will.
Okay.
All right. I'm down. I'm actually down.
Okay.
We can watch it at the same time. We can podcast in real time. I'm down.
All right. But so let's start with
that sounds terrible.
A recap of this episode. So we are in Asgard, and little girl Sylvie, she's playing with her toys. It's so cute. The little ship. You got your little giant wolf that I'm sure means something. Which was actually in
that
Thor,
comes back to Norse mythology.
Thor, yes,
Yoda or Odin gets eaten by a wolf. And
it was actually also there was a giant wolf in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
She's playing with her toys, just a little girl playing with her toys, and the TVA shows up and takes her away. Now
the TVA looks like dicks there.
Yes, totally. Now. Okay, here's the first question. What did she do? Like Loki, we understand. Loki. Well, go ahead, Pam.
She says later what she did. She said she's not supposed to exist.
She existed.
Yeah.
That's
the only thing I can think of.
All right, but if she already existed, clearly within the fabric that
She was
they
a little
created
girl.
kind of-
Take her away at age, 1 or 3
or
or
just
whatever.
put her in a better family.
Yeah,
Like-
what is?
Lord Almighty,
We
the
will
TVA is
learn.
terrible at like parenting.
We will learn what is going on with that. I believe that'll be a
I
question
don't
that is
think we will.
answered
I think we'll stay nebulous.
there has to be something. There has to be a reason why she was targeted besides, well, she exists. Like that's something's not right there. So,
All right. So the timekeepers. Are we gonna get to that next?
sure. What about the timekeepers?
Are they real? Yes or no?
Well, you think so at the beginning, but only at the beginning.
Well, obviously, it's there turned out to be some kind of Wizard of Oz crap. But I mean, are there actual timekeepers? That's the big question of this whole thing, isn't it? Who's actually behind all of this?
Well, I don't know. Isn't it kind of?
Oh, go ahead, Pam.
No, I was just going to say, isn't it like? Don't you? I just got such a Snoke and Star Wars vibe from that. Like something else is behind this. There are not actual timekeepers. There is someone or something pulling the strings, like you said, a Wizard of Oz moment. So,
yeah,
clearly there's something else there, or somebody else there. I think
more than meets the eye.
so. They didn't exist.
Oh,
or Transformers moment.
Yeah,
that works
yeah,
too.
And well, I mean, yeah, there's. I think they're making a 7th one of those, and I love the Transformers, but my goodness, what are you doing? But anyway,
not the Michael Bay ones.
Love them too.
You know what? It's just good old fashioned fun. But yeah, I mean, I like the 80s ones much better, and I wish they would go back to the 80s stuff.
I can't tell them apart, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, they're just I don't like their look. But anyway, I'm just such a fan of Transformers. So anyway, so we see her go through all the things that Loki did when he first showed up at the TVA, but did you know this? Little Sylvie is they're about to take her before the judge, and there's a dude there that is like,
yeah, who's that supposed to be?
You know who that is?
Who?
That is big mustache guy in the TVA. You know that dude in the TVA that has that big bushy mustache?
Just from Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
He's been in. He's. I mean, he's not. I don't even think he has any lines. But he's. You know what? He kind of looks like the one dude from WandaVision.
Oh my god.
But anyway, he is. It was actually someone. It wasn't just some random dude. It was actually someone that in quote unquote present time is working in the TVA. He just cleaned up a little bit, and they gave him, and he grew his mustache a little bit. So anyway, so Sylvie takes the tempad from Renslayer, and she runs away, and she goes somewhere, and then we see Sylvie and Loki on what's that planet? Lamentus.
Lamentus one.
Yeah, and she explains that. And at some point, Renslayer is going to go see the timekeepers, and she looks, and it's like all scary looking, and
yeah.
Oh, and I believe at this time we see Mobius, and he wants to interrogate that Hunter C-20, and she tells him, well, she's been killed. Her mind is scrambled.
All right, I do want to stop at this
point.
Go
for it. Yes.
Did the VTA kill Mobius 20 or C-20?
Oh, definitely. Oh, they definitely. In fact,
definitely.
When Mobius,
hang on, Pamela, you feel?
Well, no, it's 100%.
I wrote myself a note. C-20, is she really dead? So I don't know either.
It's 100% she died, because, and I'll tell you why. When Mobius switches the little Game Boy things, Tempad, whatever those are, and he's looking at the he's looking at the testimony of C-20. At one point, he like he clicks on her name and it says status deceased. So they definitely killed her.
It says status deceased, but then
dark.
there's like it is dark, but it says status deceased, and I actually went back and looked. Looks like there's 3 little boxes with words in them underneath where it says deceased, and I couldn't tell if I couldn't tell if it was like some weird language or some weird code, but I wondered if that meant that she really isn't.
Totally
me reading
makes
too
sense.
much into it again.
It totally makes sense that they would kill her because she knows too much. She knows the truth, and you can't have that.
I say ew to that. I don't love that from Marvel, but I'm not going to say that I disavow myself.
Even though, I mean, it doesn't matter because when you die, you don't really die, or who knows what actually happens when you get zapped.
So not when Loki happens anyway.
So we go to Lamentis, and they are at the edge of the city. The city is gone, and they're at a rock, and Sylvie says the universe wants to break free, so it manifests chaos, and that's why she was created. Whoa. That's like that's a game changer right there. That might be the reason for the whole series right there. The universe wants to break free and create, and it manifests chaos.
I don't know what it is. It's already manifested chaos. It's Loki.
The whole thing. Well, that's the thing. The universe is trying to break free and have chaos, and the TVA and the timekeepers and or whoever want to stop that. They don't want different timelines of chaos. They want order. They want one true sacred timeline, and that's it, and no variant.
Yeah, but they don't truly want that.
Yeah, I do.
Nah, I disagree. They want something to challenge them.
No. What are you talking about? What do you mean they want something to challenge them?
They want something to fight against.
No. No, they don't want anything to fight against.
Yes, they do.
In that one episode, Mobius said something like they're writing the entire future right now, and then when they're done, and that's it.
Then why would they allow Thanos to do what he did?
Because it was part of the plan. That's why.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
He rewrote time. That's literally what he did.
What are you talking about?
It's
all part of the plan. It's all that was all part of it.
Yeah. I don't think it is. He rewrote time. And then Tony Stark rewrote time again and made it back to what they thought
that was liked. All that was approved. They liked that. Oh, they liked all the events.
Right, then why did Steve Rogers get to go back?
Because they like that too.
Nah,
that's the point. That's the point of all this. Is there is a entity or group that says, okay, this is what I want to have happen.
Loving his characters.
Yes.
That decides he wants them to survive.
Yes. It's there is a story of the universe being written out, and that's what they like. They liked everything that happened in Infinity War and Endgame and all that stuff. They're okay with Steve Rogers going back in time and putting back all the Infinity Stones. That they're okay with. They're not okay with anything Loki does or anything Loki has done or Sylvie or whatever, any variant to that. Okay, so Sylvie says that basically everywhere she goes, it creates a Nexus event, and they chase her. So she's been running her whole life. Other
than Apocalypse World.
Then she finds out that she could hide in apocalypses. I don't know. But my question is, and how did she age? Because nobody ages in these things. But she went from little girl to a woman. So I wonder
She
what's the
still
deal with
aged
that.
at her own rate and didn't age at the rate of the apocalypse, because if she aged at the rate of the apocalypse, then she would be like 7,000.
Or because she's on her own timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good to question things like why did she age or not age, because this is all kinds of goofy things going on. So okay.
Yeah.
So she says, okay, so are we, what makes a Loki? Is it because we're always destined to lose? Loki says, yeah, we lose a lot, but dang it, we're survivors. That's like the Cincinnati Bengals right there. That's like the lovable losers. That's like yes, we lose,
Tampa Bay
but
Buccaneers. Yeah, we lost a lot, but we're prepared to win now.
Okay. Now here is something that is
God, I hate that I just commented on Tom Brady.
Ew, yeah. The universe and the Loki. There needs to be a Tom Brady Loki. That's what they need.
Ew.
I could probably take a Tom Brady Loki. I mean, he would just be the bottom of the bottom.
Tom Brady would make a great villain in any MCU movie. I mean, you really want to hate someone. There you go. Anyway, so okay, so they're talking. They hold hands, and you go back to. Sorry, go ahead, Pam.
No, before you get to that very Rogue One-esque scene, right while they're talking. I mean, come on, I have to.
It's very Rogue One. That's right. It's exactly. I didn't think of that.
All the Rogue One.
Absolutely, Jin and Cassian. But
yes.
Anyway, while they're talking, before that happens, they're talking about that the TV. Like, I can't remember the wording, but are they thinking? Is she saying that the TVA thinks that she and now Loki are planning all these massacres? Like, they're causing these massacres? Like, she said,
all the apocalypse events.
Yeah, like
No.
She said, I wish I had written down the exact words.
No, there's no way.
Got that.
No,
I got that.
I think what they. I think the whole point of that was that she found a loophole to hide from them. That if you go to an apocalypse, you could hide because it's not going to affect the timeline.
Well, I get that, but she said something. I agree with you. I get that, but she said something during that conversation that made it, and then later too, that made it almost sound like that she thinks, and she tells Loki that the TVA is trying to make them believe that they're causing these terrible apocalyptic events.
I did get that.
I remember now there was one line, I don't know if we've gotten to it yet, from that Hunter B-15 who says something like, oh, I think when she was talking to Mobius, and it's like, did you it's like, oh, they're probably planning another massacre or something like that.
Plotting their next massacre. I did write that.
I think when you meant massacre, I think they meant, how Sylvie would set traps for the hunters, and then she would kill them so she could take their tempad and their time juice or whatever the heck that's called.
I disagree. I don't think it's the TVA. I think it's the TVA that's causing these massacres.
But I get that. I think that it's ultimately the TVA too, but I think the TVA is trying to make Sylvie think that she's the one causing this for whatever reason, or the TVA, who now we don't even know who that is behind that.
Right.
I just wondered if that was significant, because they're not causing these things. She's trying to hide in these events.
Right.
If you're talking about the massacre,
what are you saying, Andrew?
I was just going to say, I disagree. I think she's trying to cause these things because in secret, she's looking at these ancient gods that are ineffectual and looking to take over for them.
I think she just wants to hang out. I think she just wants to hang out with Mobius and his jet ski and go jet skiing all the time. That's what I think. Maybe maybe they could be friends. Or
all
something
right, so the Time Masters, they're definitely dead, right?
We don't know. We don't know anything about that, and hopefully we only have 2 episodes to find out. We still don't know who the bad guy is.
Right, exactly. Exactly. We don't.
I think
we just know Renslayer or whatever her name is part of it. That's all we know.
I think Renslayer is trying to usurp that power.
I wonder what Renslayer knows, because obviously we know now that the quote unquote timekeepers, at least those timekeepers, are a bunch of, but basically they were Chuck E. Cheese robots.
Can we all agree that those time masters, quote unquote, they were all fake? Can we agree?
They were robots. What are you talking about? Of course.
Yeah, they're Chuck E. Cheese robots.
They're Chuck E. Cheese robots. I was expecting them to do a dance and say happy birthday.
Robots, then no offense, that bitch has been controlling everything from.
No, it's not Renslayer. There is another thing controlling.
I don't know. That's not Renslayer.
I don't know. I don't know.
I highly doubt Renslayer is running the show. I
highly disagree.
You disagree with everything.
I can see Renslayer just.
My goodness, Andrew. I think the sun is going to set tonight. All right, start arguing, Andrew. No.
All right, the sun is gonna come up tomorrow.
No, it's not. No, I'm kidding. But we don't know
tomorrow.
We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know. We still don't know who the bad guy is.
I don't know that I agree. I think I know.
Okay, who's the bad guy?
Renslayer.
Oh my goodness.
But I think
Renslayer is the bad guy.
But I think go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Pam.
No, I was going to say I think Renslayer is the key to the bad guy. I think I wrote myself a note. Yes, she's a nasty bitch, and I think that she could be representing somebody. Like, all of this is about enchanting and changing forms and this like shape shifting kind of stuff. She could be somebody else.
I think she's. Oh, that's true. That's true. She could be someone else. I think she's the girlfriend of the bad guy, and that bad guy is Kang the Conqueror.
No.
Yeah.
No. Please let that not happen.
Hey, that's pulling from the comics, by the way. But anyway.
It depends on what comic you pull from.
Oh my goodness!
All right,
you're drinking your contrarian juice tonight, bro.
And I will comic book you back.
Oh my god. Anyway, moving on. The Sylvie and Loki, they hold hands, and this causes a Nexus event so bad that it's like going through that little branch thing on their little TV thing is going like through the charts. It's like we've never seen this before, and all it is Loki and Sylvie holding hands, and what did they find love?
No. Do you want the comic version or no?
Oh God! Here. Okay. Let's hear the comic.
Quick comic version.
Sylvie gets her powers from Loki. Sylvie is the second incantation of Enchantress.
Okay.
The first Enchantress is killed. Second Enchantress, you have it and she's given her powers by Loki.
Okay, but why is them holding hands causing a giant Nexus event?
Did you guys see The Adjustment Bureau?
What's that?
The movie The Adjustment Bureau, Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. Okay, that scene reminds me, the scene in Loki reminds me of that movie, because Matt Damon and Emily Blunt like fall in love, and they're not supposed to fall in love, and their falling in love causes this line, literally it's literally a line on this like predetermined map to go off every time it seems like they get together, and these characters in that movie try to pull them back apart again. So it's oversimplified, but it reminded me of that the minute that happened. So either they're being in love. Pardon me?
It's similar.
My watch
very
just told me I need to calm down, and I blame you, Andrew. My watch just told me even like you should breathe, which is hilarious.
Oh,
but anyway,
trust me, I could not breathe.
So something. I mean, is this all about the power of love? My goodness.
All right.
Or
It's
the
power
I
of
had
love.
questions.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
But just
No,
real quick,
no, go,
or
Pam.
the power of bringing this character, all the different versions of oneself into one character.
Yes.
No.
I think it might
Okay.
be more that than
Let's
just love.
briefly jump to that scene with Lady Sif. And she keeps saying,
Loved it.
You're alone. You're always going to be
Love
alone.
Lady Sif showing up. Just saying.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
You're alone. You're always going to be alone. And as we're seeing, that's not necessarily the case. So maybe one Loki teaming up with another Loki, maybe that really messes things up.
Maybe that
And
makes
maybe
sense.
this whole thing is about just like every universe has their own Loki. As we've seen, sometimes it's a dude, sometimes it's a black guy, sometimes it's an alligator. But every universe has their Loki, and maybe every that just messes things up, and maybe every there has to be something that keeps that Loki under control. So maybe Loki's joining forces really messes things up. I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's it. I think that's got to be a key.
I strongly disagree with both of you.
Okay,
Really?
why? Why is that?
Yeah. Why?
So Loki is hindered by his dichotomy between Asgard and Jotunheim. And I'm stressing the comics, and I understand I'm the comic guy, and I don't get all the MCU stuff the same way you do. I see him, especially in this TV show, I just see him playing into his, like, he's his jokester personality. So I don't see any of his dichotomy. So
I don't know.
In this show? Is that what
No.
you mean? You're not seeing it in this show?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the show. Not as much as I saw it in,
Well,
like,
I mean,
the original Thor. or
let's
something.
review quickly. The first time we see Loki was in Thor.
Right.
Then I think the next time we see him is in Avengers. And look at him in Avengers. He tried to enslave planet Earth. So
yeah, and then he tried to be redeemed in Thor too.
That wasn't anything cute or trickster about that. He used an Infinity Stone to try to enslave Earth, and it took all of the Avengers teaming up together to feed him. So
yeah, but the Loki that we love is Thor 2 and past.
Right. But yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
He could be a trickster. He is the god of mischief, but he could also be a bad dude.
I agree.
I can.
When he showed up I loved him immediately. He was one of my favorite characters immediately. I don't know why. I just loved him immediately. But when he showed up in Avengers as like at least like catalyst for the bad guys, if not the lone bad guy, I was like, this is exactly what you just said. This is more than mischief. This is like evil.
Yeah.
So now we have Loki learning to be his better self all in one crash course before we even get to the other movies, which is a whole nother thing that's like, okay, how's that affecting the timeline?
Is he a better being? He tries to conquer and enslave Earth.
Well, that's one version of him, and but he's also a trickster, and as we see, and that's a timeline that we're not experiencing right now. The events of what Thor 2, Thor Ragnarok.
No, we are. No, he still has the Avengers experience
at this point in the series.
Yes,
he was plucked from Avengers 1. So he didn't. So that character did not experience anything in Infinity War or Ragnarok or anything.
He
like
still
that.
got slammed around by the Hulk.
Yes, he got slammed around by the Hulk, and then he got taken away. But all that other stuff didn't happen. So
I mean,
oh my goodness, Andrew, what is going on? You're just contrarian with everything. But anyway, they notice this massive event, and they take him just as it looks like the planet was about to be destroyed. So now they have Loki and Sylvie. I like how Loki complains that he didn't get as many guards as Sylvie.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that too.
That was funny. Loki gets thrown into memory prison, where I mean that's pretty mean that you have to relive getting kneed in the nuts over and over again. That's a not a fun event for any dude. So
agreed.
They oh my god, we agree on something. We agree that guys getting kneed in the nuts is a bad thing. Woo, we agree on something.
I'll just bow out for the rest of this.
There you go. Good night, everybody. So Mobius is talking to what's her name and says, hey, why can't I talk to Sylvie? Why can't I talk to he mentioned something like we've brought in Kree, we brought in Titans, we brought in vampires, and they don't give as many problems as these two, which people freaked out and said, oh my god, vampires, blade. So Loki says, basically, after being kneed in the nuts over and over again, says, hey, listen, I just do things for attention. And Mobius sees this and takes him, and they have God, I just love any scene with Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. They are knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, I agree.
That like them conversation together they had, where they're basically just outlying to each other, like one lie after another. I mean, Mobius says, "Oh yeah, we killed her," and at the end, and Mobius is basically saying, "You like her." Like it's like what you would see in like grade school or something like that. Like, you two like each other. Oh, you want to go and kiss? Ew.
Is Mobius the one who says, "Oh, you fell for yourself now"?
Yes.
Who says that line? That's a great line. I like that line.
You fell for yourself. Like, oh man. Loki tells Mobius that everyone in the TVA is a variant. They weren't created. The TVA is lying to you. Mobius is like, you don't know what you're talking about. Whatever. You're just what are you? You're just a cockroach trying to survive or something like that. And we see B-15 goes to the cell where Sylvie is and basically says, okay, get out of here. Let's go. Which is
okay. So what's B-15? She's looking at that weird sign that says something about like get rid of everybody or delete everybody or whatever it says, and then she says to Sylvie, so you put, what was that you showed me before or something like that?
Yeah.
What's she talking about?
What she's talking about is, do you remember that when they went the first time they went to Roxcart, whatever, remember when there was that thing in Alabama, and when they first meet Sylvie, and Sylvie takes over a lot of people, and one of them that she enchants is B-15. Okay. And that's what she's talking about. It's kind of like what Sylvie did to C-20, where she got her to admit, details about the TVA and stuff like that. So I don't know how much they did, how much time they spent together, but it was a similar thing where Sylvie went somewhere into B-15's memories to show, this is what you were before. You weren't some, you weren't some just creation of the TVA. You actually were a person before that. So that's what she's referring to.
Okay. I just missed it. I was like, when did that happen? That didn't register with me. So I didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
If it was some event that I totally missed somehow.
Right. Yeah. There was, I don't remember exactly how much, but it was, I mean, and that's what she did. I mean, that's what Sylvie did a bunch of times with the TVA agents is, just grabbing them to, control them in some way. But yeah. So she says, yeah, what did you do? Like, what did you do to me? Did you just, I think she said something like, didn't you, did you enchant me somehow? Did you, artificially implant those? And Sylvie's like, no, those were your actual memories. And she's like, oh, do it again.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad because she says something like, I was happy. Like, oh,
yeah.
So
I mean, she was Sylvie originally was a human, so
Sylvie was a human. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So again, back in the comics,
or was she Asgardian?
No, she was not Asgardian. She was the second version of the quote unquote enchantress that was given her powers by Loki. So
didn't she live in Oklahoma? At one point, they moved Asgard to Oklahoma or something like that, right?
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I didn't.
I think that's deep. Where we get the Sylvie is human thing, but
I didn't dive that deep. But they do. Well, they move Asgard to Earth at one point. I think it's in Kansas, but
yeah. So Mobius is talking to Renslayer, and this is where he switches the temp pads, and
he's just talking to her.
Yeah, he's just talking to her, and
they're having a drink.
Yeah, basically she's saying, oh, hey, case closed. We won. All right, we're done here. Woo,
I don't think she's saying case closed. Yeah, we won here. I think she's saying, this is a case that is gonna MF you up. So
I think she was saying this is a case that was like career defining or something like that. That's gonna help you in your career.
Oh no, I got the exact opposite effect.
Okay, so anyway,
let's
defer to Pam. Pam, what did you take?
I thought they were celebrating the case. I did. I thought that they were. She was trying to.
Okay.
She was trying to be like, oh, she was trying to really make sure he's still on board because he's starting to act a little. He's starting to ask a bunch of questions. So in order to try to make sure Mobius is still on board, she's like, you should be celebrating. You can, a little bit of this could be your defining case. Like this, you should be excited. And she's just feeling him out because I think she's sensing at that point that he doesn't really buy into this. Like she thinks he's starting to ask questions. That's how I took that.
He's trying to learn the truth, and she's saying, "Oh, this is not good." Because Mobius keeps saying, "I wanted to talk to C20. I want to talk to Sylvie. Like, let me talk to them. No." And she keeps making these excuses not to.
Interesting.
So Mobius sees the footage. He sees that the footage from C20, and then he realizes that Loki was right. He goes to Loki, and he says something like, you and Sylvie together, like being in love, can bring everything down, or something like that. Like, whoa. And at that point, Renslayer and a bunch of guards are there, and Mobius is like,
not a bad thing.
Yeah, and Renslayer's like, I believe you have something that belongs to me, and he's like, oh yeah. He was a terrible liar. It's like, oh yeah, we just it just fell out of your pocket. I just happened to get it. Oh boy, what a coincidence! It's like, yeah, die, dude, you're dead. And
is that where she gets rid of him right there in that scene?
Yeah, they get rid of him right there. And here's what I don't get. They bring Loki and Sylvie together before the quote unquote timekeepers. Now, the entire point of what Loki was trying to do and what Sylvie was trying to do was try to get before the quote unquote timekeepers so that they could quote unquote destroy them. Why would you do that? Why would you even entertain that thought of getting them anywhere near these
you have
quote
a better
unquote?
chance.
What?
They're both the same person. If you have the same person with the same goals, you have a better chance.
But what I'm saying is, why would the timekeepers or any Renslayer or anything like that even entertain that possibility of saying, let's bring these two together?
Are not as omnipotent as they think they are.
Well, okay, so here's my question / take on that. So I agree. I was like, okay, she's doing exactly what they wanted to do all along. So that doesn't make sense. But now she's in control, which makes more of a case for her being either the bad guy or the representative of some version of who the bad guy is, because she knows she's the only one that's gone in there. She's the only one that's seen them. So like every other time she went in there, did she go in and just be like, oh, hey, I'll play with the animatronics and make sure they're fine. And then I'll go back out and make it.
We're going to have a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party, baby.
Exactly. So maybe she's taking them in there, hoping to get them to do something dumb so she can just kill them and get rid of them, and then blame it on the timekeepers, and then come back out again as if
and then
they
come on
exist.
And say, oh, the timekeepers have destroyed your Lokis. Yeah.
I disagree with all of that.
Yeah.
I truly think that Loki's goal is to destroy time and not have a true timeline.
Yeah.
And he can just be whoever he wants to be and do whatever he wants to do and all of that jazz.
I agree. I think that's the whole point of this is our fates are not are not predetermined. We could do whatever we want. It shouldn't be determined by some higher power or some authority or something like that. We should be able to do whatever we want.
And it lends itself to multiple timelines.
Right.
In a multiple timeline, Joe, you have no business podcasting. Aww. So, and in my business, I have no business being a Steelers fan. And Pam, you have no business being on this podcast with us because
Pam isn't.
We're two 30-year-old.
In another universe, Pam is basically Ariana Grande, just some international singer or something like that.
Exactly. I like that. Let's go with that universe.
All right, as long as you're not like the crap, I forget her name. I only know the WAP person.
Cardi B.
Yeah, as long as you're not Cardi B, I'm fine.
Pammy B.
Pammy B. Oh my God, that's me. That's my famous singing persona.
In another universe, Pam is a rapper that
I can do it. I'm telling you. Give me a Loki. Let's go.
There you go. So the big scene, they're about to be quote unquote killed by the before the quote unquote timekeepers, and B-15 shows up and says, "Here we go, baby," and we get this great fight scene. I thought it was interesting that B-15 at one point just gets knocked down or something like that. So she doesn't die. She just gets like, just like put out of action or something like that. She throws Sylvie her Asgardian sword, and they just kick butt. So cool. And then the timekeepers say something like, "Oh, okay, now we could talk," or something like that. And
good job, everybody.
Yeah, really. Kind of almost felt like Jabba the Hutt there. It's like, oh, no, solo. And Sylvie has one of the greatest throws of all time. Maybe she should be. Maybe in another life she was Tom Brady or something like that. She does a great throw where she knocks off the head of the thing. Oh, wait a minute, that was also like Snoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a very Snoke-esque
That was
scene.
just like so they kill him.
God
And
bless
then,
Andy Serkis.
yeah, and the other timekeepers laugh, and then they shut down because our little Chuck E. Cheese birthday party is over. and then it gets, oh boy. Then so there, Loki and Sylvie are just standing there, and Loki says, I want to say something, and Sylvie says, please not another pep talk, which is great. But
That was nice, actually.
so Loki
I
says,
laughed at that moment.
Loki says, I need to tell you something. We will figure this out. And Loki says, well, how? Sylvie says, how do you know that? And Loki says, because back on Lamentis, and then he says, this is new for me. And then they kill him.
So
what was he going to say?
What was he going to
say?
He made
her.
What, Andrew?
All right, he made her.
I made you. Is that what he was going to say?
Yes,
okay.
I think that's what he's going to say, because all right, if you go back in the comics, and again, nerd, the comic villain that is the Enchantress that has the name Sylvia is the second version of it and is given her powers by Loki.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question. The thing is, Loki says, I need to tell you something. We will figure this out. Sylvie says, how do you know that? Because, and then boom, he's dead.
Because he might have created her.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question. How will we figure this out?
It does, kind of.
Okay. So now it's just her and Renslayer, and she's about to kill him. And even Renslayer says, kill me, do it. And so he's like, oh, you're gonna tell me something. You're gonna tell me everything. Now there is one important scene that I missed out of all this. When Sylvie is about to go before the timekeepers, she says, what is it? Why have you been chasing me, basically? And Renslayer's like, I don't remember. But Renslayer gives that evil smile, like, yeah, I know. I'm just not telling you. Because when Renslayer said that, when Renslayer basically said, you're not that important or anything like that, like Sylvie was just like defeated. That really affected her.
Well, okay. I have a little theory about that one, that little scene right there. Okay. She doesn't like Renslayer's is like, well, I don't even remember. And it reminded me of Drax and Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy. And Drax is so upset. And did you even remember killing my wife and my family?
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. And Ronan says, I don't even remember killing your wife and your family. And that like made him even more incensed.
Exactly. Yeah. There was also, I have another reference in, I believe it was either Infinity War. It was probably in Infinity War when Scarlet Witch says to Thanos, you destroyed everything for me. And Thanos is like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
That's Endgame. I don't even know who you are.
I don't even know who you are. So that's another thing.
Yeah, it is Endgame.
So and that's quote unquote how the episode quote unquote ends until we get to the mid-credits scene. Loki is alive. He says, is this hell? Am I dead? And someone says, you will be unless you come with us. He opens his eyes, he looks up, and it's 4 Lokis. Oh my God.
Wait,
why? My God.
4. Okay, here's 4. Here's
my God.
This is good. I'm about to blow Pam's mind. There was there was the black Loki who had some version of some kind of hammer. I don't know if we're supposed to believe that's the Mjolnir or what.
It is supposed to be Mjolnir.
Okay, so there's one. There's Kid Loki.
I saw him.
There's old guy Loki who's called Loki, classic Loki, which is Richard E. Grant, and we'll get him.
I saw him. So where's the 4th Loki?
And then Kid Loki was holding alligator Loki. There's an alligator Loki.
Okay, I totally missed alligator Loki.
All right.
Exactly.
I can
How
explain
crazy
this.
is that?
I can explain this.
Go
So
ahead.
Loki has taken pretty much infinite forms across all chronology. So he's appeared as female. He's been a presidential candidate, like you see with the little badge thing. I don't know. He's done. If you can picture a thing, Loki's done it, basically. So Loki has appeared as male, female. I don't know. I don't know what else.
I
I
just saw a theory that the reason why Sylvie was chased by the TVA is because Loki loves her.
No. I would hate that storyline.
Okay. The other detail from this is
all right. Well, no. Pam, what's your take on that? If Loki loved the female version of him,
I don't. You know what? I'm a sappy romantic. I am, and I love Loki, but I don't really want that to be like the impetus for whatever happens after this this series. I don't. I mean, I don't want that to be it. And I can't believe I feel that way because I am a sap, and it's good that we have, a woman of the three of us to get that sap. But even I don't want that to be the case.
That's just too weird. I don't want to. The other detail about that last scene is that they are in destroyed New York.
Yeah, I took a screenshot. I'm looking at it while I'm talking, guys. I'm like examining this background on all of this. I do see Alligator Loki now that you say. I missed him the first time. But I saw a theory that I totally didn't notice Alligator Loki. But yeah, I saw something about it could be the destroyed Avengers building, that Tony Stark building, but where? Behind which one of them? Like I'm not
kind of behind the kind of behind old Loki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like the destroyed Avengers building.
That looks more like the Ghostbusters building to me, but that's just but that makes the case for New York. So
I ain't afraid of no variant. But
yeah.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
What was I gonna say? Richard E. Grant. That there was talk. It's like, we know Richard E. Grant is going to be somewhere in the series, and people were guessing what character he was going to be in. It looks like he's wearing the costume that Loki first wore in the comics back in like the 60s or something like that. So that's whatever that means. But anyway, he was. You know who he was in Star Wars? He was General Pride in Rise of Skywalker.
Nuh-uh, really?
Yep, that was Richard E. Grant.
Did not pay that much attention to it.
Yeah,
I did not either, but I am anytime there's any episode of anything or any movie, anything, I go to IMDb and say, okay, where do I know these people from?
Got it.
Because I'm a nerd.
I'm a nerd in a different way. But
now, the thing is, here's my guess as to what's going to happen. Oh my god, we only have 2 more episodes of this. Oh, they better get moving on this stuff.
I know there's so much to do.
There's still so much. We still need to know who the bad guy is.
All right. Well, hang up. This brings me to a question. So, signed on for Multiverse of Madness are Benedict Cumberbatch and Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
There is no Tom Hiddleston assigned to
that we know of yet.
We know of yet. But that's got that.
Here's the thing.
How does that not?
So we know that Kang the Conqueror is going to be in Ant-Man Quantumania or whatever, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Wait, do we?
Yes, we do.
That's
on Wikipedia. Yeah,
they have someone assigned to that. So people are speculating that Kang the Conqueror is the bad guy of this series. And let's go over Kang the Conqueror real quick. This is from what I understand from the comics. Kang the Conqueror is, what's his name? Nathaniel Richards or something like that. Yeah,
He's
Nathaniel
a time
Richards.
traveling warlord.
He's from some dude from the 31st century that gets access to time travel technology that was created by Doctor Doom. And he goes from the 31st century all the way back to ancient Egypt in a spaceship.
He goes through all time.
Yes, but he goes back to ancient Egypt in a sphinx kind of thing, and he becomes like a king. And something happens, and he's a conqueror because he conquers other timelines, and he's just wrecking all these other timelines. And there was some being entity, either the timekeepers or whatever, that basically said, listen, could you please stop destroying timelines? How about you help us create like one true timeline, and if you do that, we'll give you immortality or something like that. I think that's basically King the Conqueror in a nutshell.
Okay, can I jump in here a second? I'm looking at Wikipedia while we're talking, and pardon me?
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Exactly. I'm joking. Sorry.
Yeah, got it. If you would name your child it, you would say Wikipedia. Got it. Okay, it says Kang. Wait, where'd it go? Falls for the princess of one of his subject kingdoms, and the princess's name is Ravana, which is Renslayer's name.
Exactly. That's why I was saying he is Renslayer might be the girlfriend of King the Conqueror.
Okay, well, maybe I wasn't putting together where you got that from.
I'm just, this is my guess. This is my guess as to who the bad guy is of this series.
Well,
there are no timekeepers, but there is one timekeeper, and he is trying to basically assert his timeline, the timeline that he wants. And if anybody goes against that, then they're done. That's my theory.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense given what I'm just learning about Kang from you guys, so I don't, this is all new to me. Pardon me?
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah. I'm reading up while we're talking because you guys have mentioned him, but I didn't really look him up. So
I know very little from him other than, what people say. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. But yeah, it's wow. It's I not that I didn't like the previous episodes, but gosh, this was so cool.
Oh, this one was heavy.
It's so heavy and it's so deep, and there's so many. I mean, every layer of this, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
I mean, my goodness. Let's not discount how hard it is. First of all, you have 24 movies to reference and so many other things to reference, and you still, put out a story that's, they could have done some really stupid things, and this story is just, God, it is just really good.
Again, I think that builds to the credit of Kevin Feige. And Kevin Feige, if you're listening, I give you the highest praise. He built
it's amazing.
He built a cinematic universe. He built stories that stand on their own, but also build to bigger things. And that's so insane to do.
Could you just imagine every, just plugging up all just preventing any plot holes? Which there are almost no plot holes in these movies.
I disagree.
Okay, there's some.
You could poke a ton of plot holes in the MCU.
Okay, but they're like minor things. They're not just
They're not cinematic. They're not story things.
Or there's something that they smooth over so gracefully that you don't even realize that. Oh, wait a minute. What about this? Like you really have to think to come up with those moments.
Yeah, Pam, you have the exact right point. Yeah, there are things that they gloss over, but there are also things that they smooth over very well. And I will say that.
Yeah, not to the point that you're hearing huge outcries like, oh, this couldn't have happened this way, like we had in some of our other favorite, stories. That couldn't have happened. That couldn't happen. I'm not hearing any of that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Exactly to your point, Pam.
Yeah.
What if alligator Loki can talk?
What like if we have a shark guy and
what if Loki can talk?
Alligator Loki, yeah.
So do we think Mobius has to still be alive too, right? I mean, there's no way Owen Wilson is signing on for 3 episodes. Which
Mobius is we will 100% see Mobius again.
I actually think he's just going to become like a random time cop.
Oh,
I think he's going to break away from the entire TVA.
I think we're 4 episodes into this thing and we still have no idea we don't even know who the bad guy is, let alone what the resolution is.
All right, Yahtzee.
Yeah.
I mean, other than it's going to create, I think it's pretty obvious it's going to create a quote unquote multiverse of madness. All
right, so wait, hang on. My question is Tom Hiddleston going to show up in that? So right now, Multiverse of Madness has Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, and nobody else.
But that's the thing is we don't know. I think that we don't know who's going to be in it because if we did, that would create spoilers.
Yeah.
Kind of like how
I don't know that that's necessarily
kind of like how let's say the actor that plays Kang the Conqueror, we know he's going to be in the Ant-Man movie, but if he shows up, if he was confirmed to be in this, then that's pretty obvious who the bad guy is. So they have to keep those things secret.
But didn't they do that with something else already? That they didn't say who was going to be in something?
Right.
I could swear they did that with one of the other. They've done that a couple times, I think. Like you don't find out until like the last second who's going to be in something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh boy, we will see. It's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
Can it be next Wednesday already?
I know. Oh my God! Of all the
seriously, if you guys want to talk Marvel, I'm never not down.
Well, the funny thing is,
same.
Like Tom Hiddleston said, it's like, oh, I was, episodes 4 and 5 were amazing. Well, bro, how about episode 6? How's this thing gonna end?
Yeah. So, but the penultimate episode in many of these shows, I don't know. I mean, the finales have been awesome too, but that next to last show has been awesome in every one of these series. So next week should be freaking amazing.
In almost every one of them, like episode 4 got awesome. Like it was like okay in episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then episode 4, boom, we're off to the races. So, where this goes from here, oh boy. I mean, oh, it's exciting. I'm just so excited. I'm loving.
It is exciting.
I'm loving that. I mean, all day. And I think we all had the same thing. It's like as soon as it was over, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk about it. It's like, hurry up!
I could not wait to share.
Everybody, hurry up and see it so we can talk about it. So, it is.
I could not wait to share.
I know.
So much fun.
Same. And my mind goes off in so many different directions. I come up with these like weird little theories. Like I need you guys to ground me back and wait, focus on this because little things. Here's how off the charts I am. When at the very beginning, which by the way, we saw that very beginning with young Sylvie and what's her name going to the timekeepers. That was all before we even got to the darn credits, like the official Loki credits, which was pretty amazing. Right. But when I saw that young the girl Loki, here's me, wasn't even thinking that it was Sylvie. I was like, oh, is that Hela? Like
yeah, sure. Who could that have been? Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, there's so many, obviously it was Sylvie, so I'm thinking way too much about this, but there's so many aspects of this that make me feel that way. Like, what about this? Could this mean something? What about this? What about this?
Right. So much fun. So much fun, guys. Thanks so much. I
always.
I was
All right. Thank
I
you
was
for
thinking
having me,
about
Joe.
you two all day. So
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so flustered.
all right, guys. Hey, I'll see you.
All right.
Have a
peace
great
out.
night.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.